This is Real Republican News. I'm your host, Jason Mariner. Normally, I would say something like Happy Friday, but if you're the average American and you care about the Constitution, civil liberties, your rights, your country's future, freedom, liberty, all that good stuff, the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness, you're probably concerned at not having the greatest Friday you've ever had because you're starting to see what's going on in this country. It's undeniable. They can't even hide it anymore, no matter how much lying they do. Now, on a side note, if you hear the construction going on, we're in a soundproof studio, but I wouldn't put it past the Biden administration to have hired this construction crew to make as much noise as possible in the hopes that we're going to hear it, and we're not going to put out a video today. It's anything but the case. I don't care. I don't think you do either. But if you hear a little bit of noise, that's what it is. Anyway, moving along. If you voted for President Biden, you're probably not watching this channel, but if you did, and it's a coincidence, you feel very duped because on the campaign trail he said he was going to be a human rights guy. He was going to reach across the aisle and work with the other side. He's done anything but that since the day he stepped into office. Day one, practically, he stopped construction on the border wall and told everybody in the entire world, come on in, we'll take care of you, no problem. There's plenty of holes in the border wall. Just come on in. And when they got here, they found out that they were not going to be taken care of. They're in what they're calling facilities. These are actually prisons that are at 1,000 or 2,000% capacity. There's COVID, 10% of these facilities. People in them have COVID. They're not being treated. They're not being fed. Men, women, and children are being sexually abused and assaulted. There are not enough people there to run these facilities, these prisons, because the federal government, i.e. the Biden administration, is not helping. President Biden is not a president. Presidents go down and address catastrophes like this. This is the biggest human rights catastrophe this country has ever seen, yet he's not there. He's assigned to his vice president, Kamala Harris, and when asked when she was going down there, she did her cackle. Nah, I'm not going today. A little busy or something like that. What's so funny, Kamala, about human rights violations? What's so funny about the United States Constitution not being followed? What's so funny about U.S. law not being followed? What's so funny about 5-year-olds being dropped over 14-foot walls in the middle of the night? What's so funny about an unprecedented amount of illegal drugs and weapons coming into this country through those holes in the border wall? What's so funny about the fact that we're lining the pockets of the cartels? What's so funny about the fact that terrorists are making their way into this country through this border wall problem? The reason it's funny to you is because what you're after is ultimate power and control, just like any tyrant. And this brings you just one step closer to that goal. That's what you're after. I'm on to the fact that that's what you want. Most of America is starting to catch on to the fact that that's what you want. You don't want what's best for this country. You want what's best for Kamala Harris. You want power and control. If you're not a conservative and you're watching this, don't think that they're not coming for your rights next. They're not going to start censoring you and silencing you, because they will. These power-hungry lunatics, once they start taking rights, they don't stop with one party or one set of rights. They take it all. That's what they're after. Joe Biden swore in to office on a centuries-old Catholic Bible, leading you to believe that he was a man of faith, principle, values, because that's an important thing, especially in a president. Well, Catholics don't believe in abortion, let alone full-term abortion. Catholics certainly wouldn't support it and you paying for it with your tax dollars. They wouldn't fund it in other countries with your tax dollars. They wouldn't create human rights catastrophes like the one that we are seeing at our southern border. I wish the Pope would get out there and say that he's not really a Catholic. He's lying when he says he is. Just because you say you're one doesn't make you one. I was just baptized this past Saturday during the Easter Vigil. very proud moment. I did it in front of my kids and a lot of other people. Because it's cool to raise your children with faith. Our founding fathers said the most important job we have as adults is to bring our kids up, teach them about American history and God, morals, faith, values. You know why? Because if people know how this country became free, why we're free, about the Constitution and what to do when our political leaders start to not serve us well and abuse us, that they won't be able to trample on our rights so easily, that they won't be able to take our God-given unalienable rights so easily, that we'll have some recourse. They also know that people with faith are harder to control and defeat. The colonists, I've got news for you, they were outnumbered big time during the Revolutionary War. And one of the first flags flown over that battlefield had a pine tree on it, and it said an appeal to heaven. They had faith on their side. They had God on their side. That's why they're attacking religion. They took the Pledge of Allegiance out of schools because it contained the word God. Now, it didn't say a Christian God. It didn't say any particular God. It just said God. That's why they took it. They're after faith. They're not after Christianity. They're just after faith in general. That's why when anything bad happens, they say it was the big bad white Christian man with his white privilege and AR-15 that voted for President Trump. It's just not true. They don't want anyone to have any kind of faith. Our founding fathers knew that this country was a melting pot full of immigrants of all walks of life, beliefs, different religions. The First Amendment says you can believe what you want to believe and practice whatever religion you'd like as long as no one's getting hurt. That's the whole point of the First Amendment. To believe what you want, say what you want, do what you want. This country was founded on the assumption that people could self-govern because people of faith have morals and values and can self-govern. That's one of the main reasons I was baptized officially as a Catholic, so I can bring my kids up in the church. I'm already teaching them about American history. Now I'm going to let the church teach them about faith. I'm going to let them experience faith and God. Because again, people with faith in God are harder to control, fool, trick, and control. If they're educated, it makes their job even harder. The radical left is after freedom, faith, education, and human rights in general so they can take it all and rule with an iron fist, a scepter, as tyrants. That's what tyrants do. I find it interesting that the people that call us Nazis and fascists are the ones that want us to carry papers around with us. Ask anyone of Jewish ancestry what their ancestors had to do in Nazi Germany. They had to carry around papers. It's a little bit ominous if you think about it. H.R. 1 is not racist. It's just to ensure that when you vote, you have an ID. You don't do it twice. You're a citizen of this country, and you're actually alive. Nothing unreasonable there. If you actually think about it, them saying it's racist is racist, because if they think it's racist, for us to expect that of a voter, they're basically saying that minorities are too stupid to get IDs, be at a certain place at a certain time, and not vote twice and cheat. That's what they're saying. Every time they pull the race card, they're lying. The ones that say that you're racist, they're the racist ones. They project what's in their heart onto you. They are trying to divide this country and get everyone to think that there's a race problem. Charles Barkley just said on national TV that white people and black people and everybody, people are good. We don't hate each other. But most people are too stupid to realize that our politicians are making it that way. We need to stop listening to them. Thank you, Charles Barkley, for saying that. On a personal note, I have family in town from the northeastern part of this country. And when they got here, all they're talking about is how, I forgot what it feels like to be free. Thanks again to Governor DeSantis for keeping Florida free, not letting them control us. This virus, if you want a vaccine, get it. If you don't, don't. But these masks can't continue forever because it's another way to divide people. The papers aren't going to happen. And Kamala, You are not going to get your way. You're not going to take the rights away from me or my children or my fellow countrymen and women. We will stop you. Watch. To the rest of my audience, until next time I say be well, God bless you, your families, those around you, and the Constitution. Have a great weekend, everyone. My name is Jason Mariner, the host here at Real Republican News.